Niranjan, how do you look at this recovery statement with, of course, so many caveats? Again, the question is about the survey. Is it just a compendium of data, or would you really go by what they are hinting at?
No, I think the analysis of the economic situation right now is pretty succinct and to the point. Yes, I agree with Anil that there is, clear suggestions. We leave the caveats aside. Economists by nature caveat everything, but if you leave the caveats aside, I still feel that there is some sense that by third quarter or worst case fourth quarter of the year, you will see things much better in the economy, and which more or less fits in with what a lot of global governments are saying. The US government believes that in the last quarter of the year, they could see positive growth after many quarters of decline. So I think the issue actually is not whether the economy will stabilize at 6.5% or 7% or not. The issue is that in the 4 years before that, we were averaging 9 to 9.5% growth. So we're still 2.5% percentage points below that high growth path. And how do you close this gap?
Anil, the thing is how to close that gap, as Niranjan says, also while keeping the social, the reforms in mind, which seems to be the plank on which this government has come back to power. Do you think they can manage it?
See, this government, to its credit, has proved the fact that they somehow have hit the formula on managing the politics with the economics. They went to these polls with this massive welfare spending agenda, which seemed to have cut eyes with the voters, and they've been re-elected. And they've been re-elected with a very comfortable majority, given the background of coalitions that we have seen for the last 15 years. So, having said so they have the political backing and the political capital to push on economic reforms if they do wish to. And the way they are managing their agenda in these this is about 6 weeks since the government took charge, is very clever, very astute. Like, to give you a fresh example, they have carried out the fuel price hike outside the budget. I'm sure if they had done it in the budget, it would have sunk the budget. So they are astute political managers. I think they know what they're doing, and their biggest asset is the opposition is in complete disarray.
Yeah. One final question to both of you. Do you think this kind of indication which they are given in the pro-reform indication which has come through the survey, will they have the ability to carry through in the budget as well?
See, the budget is going to be very strong on reform rhetoric. That's my gut. It's easy to make these claims. The issue is whether you execute them. Like Niranjan pointed out, several budgets in the past have spelled out these milestones that the country needs to adopt. The issue is whether they have the political will to follow through with that. I think that's what you should watch for.
Okay. Niranjan, what do you say? What's your last word on this?
Yeah, I again agree with Anil, because I think the budget is normally divided into so-called Part A and Part B. The Part A is in a way the statement of intent, and the Part B is actually the details about taxation and spending and the rest of it. I think this budget, there will be a lot of stuff in the Part A. They'll signal what they want to do, and then the ability to do it will depend on how the political thing is built up, consensus.
And this signal, do you see it's a 1-year signal or the 5-year signal? Signal for
5-year signal. I think if you go to previous budgets, the first Yashwant Sinha budget of the NDA government in '99, or to Chidambaram's '96 budget, of the United UDA, all these budgets were the first budget, so they didn't actually have significant reforms, but they had indications about what they wanted to do.
So we should see a thick Part A and probably a thin Part B. Thanks, Niranjan. Thank you, Anil.